few weeks ago, a company by the name of Geometric Future, who's also the sponsor of this video, reached out to me and sent me their Model 5 vent case. And I immediately fell in love with it. I loved it so much to the point where I wanted to do another case swap. I case swapped my PC like 2 months ago, and now I'm doing it again just because of how much I like this case. So I decided it would be a good opportunity to make a little tutorial on how to do a case swap for your PC. And if you end up enjoying the video and if it's helpful in any way, consider subscribing and liking the video. So we're gonna be case swapping my PC from my old Antec C3 to the new Model 5 vent. I think right now my PC looks very questionable, especially because of the cooler. We're gonna get into that later, but I'm gonna show you the case swap result at the end of the tutorial. Okay, let's begin. So obviously the first thing you need to do is disassemble your first case. You start off by taking the side glass panel and disconnecting the GPU. Then you want to unscrew the GPU from the brackets and disconnect it from the PCIe slot. Put your GPU to the side, keep it somewhere safe. The next thing you want to do is disconnect everything from the motherboard. That includes the 24-pin connector, the CPU power, the HD audio, all of the fan headers, the RGB headers, USB 3.0 and USB-C if you have it. Make sure everything is disconnected. Now the good thing about case swapping is that you don't have to take apart the motherboard. You don't have to take out the RAM, the SSD, or the CPU. So the only thing you have to do is unscrew the motherboard, take it out of the old case and just put it to the side somewhere safe. Great, the motherboard is out. Now we have to take out the power supply. The first thing you have to do is take off the other side panel. That shouldn't be too difficult. You just unscrew it, pull all of the cables and the power supply out of the case and put it to the side. Okay, the first case is completely empty. You disassembled it. Great job. Now you can grab your new case. Again, in my case, we're using the Model 5 vent from Geometric Future. This case looks absolutely beautiful. It comes with 5 pre-installed 140mm fans. It obviously supports up to a full-sized ATX motherboard. And my favorite thing about it is where you place the power supply. Usually it goes on the bottom left side of the case, but in this case, it goes on the top right in this pouch right here. This power supply placement contributes to better airflow. And with the power of these pre-installed fans and the nice airflow, you're not gonna have to worry about your PC overheating. And if we talk about the design a little bit, it's absolutely beautiful. I think in a world full of fish tank cases, it's nice to have something different. And I got the yellow edition of the case, so it has this nice yellow spot in the front. I'm thinking of customizing this part, so if you guys have any idea on what I should put there, let me know in the comments. All in all, this case is great. Let's get to case swapping. The first thing you're gonna do is take your motherboard and carefully place it on the standoffs in the case. You're gonna screw in the motherboard diagonally, so if you start top right, then you go left bottom, then you go top left, bottom right, and then everything in between. This prevents the motherboard from bending. The next thing you do in this case is you mount the power supply. But as I've said before, this power supply has a different placement, and the installation process is also different. Basically, what you do first is you take off this metal racket. This metal racket screws onto the power supply, and when you mount the power supply and the racket on the case again, the power supply is pretty much gonna hang off of the case, which I think is a really cool design. The only downside of this pouch is that it doesn't have a lot of room for the extra cables of the power supply. So if you're using a big non-modular power supply, I would try to work around that, but for the most part, it's awesome. Great, the power supply is in. Now everything is ready to be connected. This case has a lot of room for cables, connectivity, and cable management. So now we can connect the 24-pin connector, the CPU power, all of the fan and RGB headers, connect the power and the AIO, the HD audio, and then the power supply connects in a different way. Since the power supply is on the other side of the case, it needs an extra extension power cable. So you just take the extension built-in power cable, connect it to the power supply, and then connect your power cable to the back IO of the case. In this case swap, I also swapped my cooler. The people at Valkyrie were very nice, and they sent me this A360 Lite AIO. And I think it's gonna look much better than this cheap cooler that I have right now, where I can't even change the colors of the RGB. And they also sent me some extra fans that I'm gonna put on the front of the case. So thank you, Valkyrie. If you want to check them out, the link is in the description. They have really nice budget AIOs. Now the only thing left to do is to install the GPU. You just take off the brackets from the back of the case, undo the PCIe latch, connect the GPU to the PCIe slot, screw it into the brackets, and connect the PCIe cable to the GPU. And boom, we're done with the case swap. After I cable managed everything, I put on the side panels, and now the PC looks like this. I think think it looks so much better than my old case. The 140mm fans look absolutely amazing. The cooling is also really good, but the case is a little heavy, so it's kind of hard to carry it, but it just looks really nice, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. So thank you, Geometric Future, for sending me this lovely case. I'm gonna enjoy it much more than my old one. And if this video was helpful to you, consider subscribing and liking the video. In my next video, I'm gonna be building a whole new PC, so if you want to see that, don't forget to subscribe. That's it for this video. I'll see you guys later.